What's up, everybody? So a few months ago, Elinchrom reached out to me and wanted me to field test their new ELB 500 before it was released to the public, and I said, sure, send it on my way and I'll give you my honest thoughts. So here we go, let's do it. Humor me for a second. Just stand here for a minute. This is fantastic.
Oh,
yeah, really.
I look good.
Yeah, you look smoking, yeah. Now, let me start and say that I have been a long-term Elinchrom user. I have bought and used both their Quadra and Ranger packs for the past 7 years, and I've been very impressed with their performance. In fact, I still use the regular old Quadra pack, 2 of them, with lithium batteries as my go-to lighting for most all of my current work. So anyway, we're talking today about the Elinchrom ELB 500. We just did our first rounds of warm-up shots. It's been a hell of a day because it's been pouring rain here in Miami. I am using 2 lights in my setup. I'm using the ELB 500 as the main light, but then I'm also using one of my old Ranger Quadra packs as a kicker light, and I'm just firing that on the same channel in my remote. Yeah, the ISO is going to both increase flash efficiency and also the ambient light levels, if you would. Yep, same exact thing, same framework as we did before. Perfect, good. Lean right in, again, key in this way to the light. This is a 500 watt second pack, and it will support TTL for those of you who love to use that. Now, I've been given limited specs and details, as I do think Elinchrom just sort of wants me to use it and just give them my raw, honest thoughts. Now, at a glance, I will tell you that this pack is slightly larger than both the Quadra and the ELB 400 packs. They're almost the same. The batteries are thicker here on the older Quadra. Those are the lithium batteries on the older Quadra as well. You can tell now that they've really streamlined this new battery, which is pretty cool, for sure. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much it. Pretty much the same size. It feels incredibly robust and water resistant, and something that I would feel much more confident using in rainy or kind of snowy weather. The menu system is a dream to use. It's very easy and intuitive. There's no need for any manual or a cheat sheet. This is all controlled with a nice dial that has a rubbery, tactile, heavy feel to it. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you the incredibly easy menu system, which is a one-touch button here, and then you use this little jog wheel off to the side to kind of control everything. The first disposition is radio, which you can select the different systems. By default, this is on the Skyport, which makes the most sense. And then here you can change the mode from normal to speed. You can change the group, and then the frequency assignments, which is all pretty standard. What's interesting is under the system, I'm not familiar with what this is. This is the ODIN2, and then you can select Canon or Nikon, and then you can put in the ID number, which is a 4-digit code, the channel frequency, and then the head letter assignments. What's interesting is that I have the Canon system, the 600 RTs, and I matched all of this up with what's in the Canon remote because it does have these different dispositions, thinking that it may natively somehow just work. That wasn't the case. I don't know if this is going to be something that will be supported with this pack going forward. If you know about that, please write in the comments below because I legitimately am not sure. I emailed Elinchrom and they told me to just stay in the Skyport setting for this field test, so that's what I'm doing. But anyway, so the next menu here is the flash mode. And here you can select the photocell on or off, which is the optical eye, which will just trigger the pack if it sees another flash, which is very handy if you do want to use this with other brand of lighting system or speed lights. And then you can obviously change the recycling time from fast or slow, which has been pretty standard on the other packs as well. Extras, you have here a auto standby, toggle on or off, the auto off time allocation, and the ready tone if you want this to be silent when it recycles or if it beeps. And then you can also have it make a little clicking noise every time you move the button, and you can toggle that on or off, which is very convenient because I find that very annoying. And then the last thing is kind of cool. This is just info, some various information here, the firmware update, the serial number, the lifetime, which is kind of cool. I'm not exactly sure how that's counting, but the flash count at the bottom, that's pretty cool. So that shows how many pops that the pack has had on it, and that could be useful to help kind of keep track of wear and tear on a pack. So that's pretty nice. I think that's really cool are the ports here. They are rubber, they go flat. This is where you plug in your heads. Very, very nice rubber feel, totally weather sealed, you can tell. So much faster than having to unscrew the caps of the old Quadra system, which is nice. So I very much like that. Overall, the pack screams quality and performance, and I will tell you right now that this has been the case out in the field when I have used it.
Good. Grab the hair, and pause right there. Beautiful, right there.
So I've used this pack at 4 weddings, 6 photo shoots, and a ton of just kind of playing around with it just in general.
That's awesome, hold it there. Exactly.
And here is what I honestly think. The first thing that I love about it is the incredible recycle time. You know, unlike the older Quadra packs, this thing definitely recycles near instant. It is pretty quick. Well, what I mean is that when I adjust the power levels, the recycling time within the adjustment, there's absolutely no delay. So for example, if I go from 400 watts on the Quadra down to say 100 or whatever, plus or minus, it takes it several seconds to update that. And on the new ELB 500, it's pretty much instant. Like, in fact, it doesn't even beep to let you know that I've even made a change to the power adjustment. It's just there. Like, the capacitor is just like there, ready to go, and that's it. So we're just driving around and we found this random parking garage to do some shots in. We got our beautiful model back here. We got the whole crew, and hopefully it comes out good. We'll see. Can you stand in the puddle? Just a little bit, very carefully, face off this way. The wind's bringing your hair that way, which is nice. That's good. Right. Shoe that's out, bend that knee so the shoe's on its toe, like this. Lift the heel up and hold it, yeah. Lean in, key into the light, that's it. Hold it there. What was insane is the new battery. I've not been able to see this drop below about 75%. One of the sessions we did was with a model here in the middle of the day around Miami, and I took well over 700 shots of her, and this was mostly in the upper power range, and the battery still had all the bars. That was insane. And to compare, I was also using my Quadra as a rim light on the same shoot, and I went through 1.5 batteries during the same session. So big difference in capacity. TTL. You know, this is something that I did test, but I got to get the elephant out of the room here first. I'm not a big component of TTL Flash. I don't ever use it in any of my productions or shoots because it really fosters an inconsistent result. I very much prefer to shoot manual mode, both on the camera and in the lighting pack. I like to staple down my exposure values and keep it all the same. That way, when I get back to the studio, everything is the same. So if I shoot 20 pictures, 100 pictures, or 2,000 pictures, they're all gonna look about the same for each segment of shoot that we're doing, right? So it's like every setup we do, I do a few test shots, I get it dialed in, I get it stapled down, it's all manual, and it doesn't move. Nothing else changes, and I can quickly fire through the frames, and that's how I can get back home and just import everything and not have to like sit there and fumble around with the exposure from shot to shot to shot. That's why I don't use TTL, because regardless of how good it is, it fluctuates just a little bit from shot to shot to shot, and that's super annoying. I can't even tell you. But I know Elinchrom wants me to talk about TTL, so let's see what we can do. But nevertheless, it's sort of a big deal for this pack and Elinchrom for the ELB 500, and I don't want to take that away from them. All I can say is that it works. It works exactly like any other TTL system that I have used in the past. I think it's fair now to talk about some of the concerns, potential concerns that I have with the ELB 500. This is not based on just using this pack alone out in the field, but it's based on the 7 years that I've owned the Quadra packs. The first thing that I see or noticed is that the new heads that ship with this, the power cord is permanently attached, which at a glance I was happy about because it's one less connection that needs to be made when out in the field and setting up. But I'm very much reminded of about the half dozen times where the cords on the Quadra ELB 400, because they're the same, have failed and needed to be replaced. I'm someone who takes great care of my cords, and I know exactly how to coil them up and not crimp them and damage them, and yet about once a year I seem to have to replace one, and they're not cheap at $98 a piece. So in this case, if the cord fails, the entire head would also be useless, and that could be a problem. But on the positive side, you know, the fact that the cord is a part of the head may make it more, or, you know, less susceptible to failing, and therefore this will be a thing of the past. Only time will tell, but for me, it's a caution flag right now. The second thing that drives me nuts is the new remote system. And to be clear, this is not unique to the ELB 500. This is also the case with the ELB 400 or the 1200, the Quadra, etc. The issue is the startup time and the delays with using it. It just takes too long to get the remote online, and it searches for the packs, and that's definitely an area that I think could be better. All right guys, I have the Elinchrom remote here, Canon remote here, turning them both on at the exact same time. Ready and go. This one's all ready. Now this one's ready. I really hate it, I do, but it's the only way that I can use the high-speed heads. Before this remote came out, I used the old Skyport remotes, and just like a pocket wizard, it was instant and I loved it. There was zero waiting. It was just a dumb switch that fired the pack, and I could change the power levels with it. Now when I turn on the remote, I feel a little bit like I'm waiting for a slow internet connection to finally finish a download before I can even use it. This may seem like a silly thing to mention, but trust me, when you're running and gunning in the field, walking along with clients, and you get them all posed, and then you need to take maybe a shot or two for a test shot, you know, I need to either remember to turn this thing on before I need it, or two, I need to come up with extra bullshit to kind of just say to my clients out in the field while I wait for this thing to boot up and come online and be ready to use. In either case, I hate it. And Elinchrom, if you're listening, I know you are, I would take a look at the Canon remote. It looks identical to yours, but they have no wait time. The system just works and it's fast, and I love it. So I know it's possible. Overall, the pack is very nice and a bit of an expected update from Elinchrom given the ELB 1200. This is sort of like the little guy to the newly released ELB 1200, and it's clear now what their product lineup is going to look like. I think Elinchrom is the best choice for me in the type of work that I do, and I'm excited to see what others think of this new pack. I do wish that they had made this at least 600 watt seconds or perhaps even 800 watt seconds to truly sort of stand out in the market. Based on the battery capacity that I saw, there would have been plenty of room to do that and still have an insane amount of use from one charge. The fact that you can get so many shots from one battery, while very good, it's also an indicator that they could have pushed the power level of the heads a little bit more. I'm sure, you know, there's more to it than that, but this is just what I think at a glance. So I'm sure I forgot something, and if I did, please mention it in a comment below, and I will use the video description field to update anything that changes after this video has been released, or any updates that Elinchrom may make to the final production of this pack. I'm filming this now, it's October 2017, and the release is slated to be somewhere around 2018, early January or February. So there's a chance that something could change, and if anything does change, I will update this video to keep you all informed. I also want to say that I have not been compensated in any way, shape, or form to make this video, nor do I get to keep this awesome pack. It's being sent back today, unfortunately. I only did this to help you understand what someone like me thinks of this new product after having it for a few months. And I hope it helps, and I wish you all the very best in your photography businesses. Until next time, thanks guys. You second guessing the cheeseburger?
I should have eaten the cheeseburger.
No? No. I shouldn't have eaten the cheeseburger. She's complaining about eating the cheeseburger. I mean, I shouldn't have had the cheeseburger. George!
I had mashed potatoes and fish.
George didn't have a cheeseburger. I'm surprised. If you haven't seen our Royal Caribbean trip wedding cruise video, you should watch that and see what George eats.
George, how many steaks have you had so far on this cruise?
Man, at least 3. I think like once a day, every day.